Alrighty folks, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. You know where I'm at. If y'all saw that last video, you know where I'm at. We're at Orlando Speed World for the Modern Street Hemi Shootout. So this video will be the bracket racing. The next video will be either the 10.5 or the 10.0 class. Just all depends how Shake and Bake runs today. So stay tuned folks, we got racing coming. And there's gonna be someone on the other side of me this time. There's gonna be some racing. I know that last video, even for me watching, was a little sketchy, just because it was me running by myself. But we got everything fixed. We got the thermostat installed, drove the car, temps are fine. We're good to go. We're going racing. Stay tuned. Here we go. Alright folks, we're here with Dan the man, the one that runs the Hemi Modern Street Hemi Shootouts, HemiRace.com. Turn it over to you, let you talk.
Well, first let me say thank you, man. Thank you for your support and just covering our events and participating. Absolutely. It really means a lot to us. That's what this is about, just grassroots racing and having a good time, and we've become like a family through the years. And we're back in Orlando, you know, and they're starting the 2024 season, and we're going to do another great year. We've got some great new sponsors and some really legacy sponsors, and just proud to keep this thing alive, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're not really concerned what Dodge did. We're gonna just keep
Let's not get into that. It's all good, the comments will just be blasted.
No, it's all good, man. You know what? Maybe it's gonna be something we love too. But right now, we're gonna keep the Modern Street Hemi Shootout and live on the Hemi platform and just have a great time.
Awesome. So we got Orlando opening up today.
That's right.
Then we have Rockingham.
Yep. And then we go to Cecil County, Maryland.
Cecil County.
Yep. And then we go to gosh, I'm losing my train of thought here. We go to Detroit. And then we go to Maryland.
MIR.
Yep.
There you go. So there you go, folks. HemiRace.com. Check it out. If you haven't been to one of these, you need to come.
It's a good time, guys.
It's a good time. Yeah. So next up will be the drivers meeting with Dan giving us all the rules.
That's right. So in Orlando, you guys represent well. I'm so proud that we brought this back into our points series and our season. Our very first event ever was at Bradenton. We ran at Bradenton, I think, 3 times, and then we ended up going to Louisiana for a little bit, and then we came back here, and we went to Georgia for a year. But Orlando has been, as you guys can see, it's a great turnout. You guys support us well. We really appreciate you. As you know, the Mopar community, the racing Mopar community with these late models is not that big of a community like the Mustangs and Camaros. So the fact that we're able to keep this going and have turnouts like this is what we need. So it just helps keep it alive. So I really appreciate you guys first and foremost for coming out. So I'm going to go through first a list of sponsors, and a lot of those sponsors are here, and I just really ask that you guys think of them first when it comes time to modify your car. There's no doubt that one of our sponsors can help you, and not just help you as you're not sacrificing anything. These guys are the best of the best. We don't take it for granted. We have been very fortunate that a majority of our sponsors have been part of this scene for a long time, and they didn't just show up. They've been here and they developed it. So really, just do me a favor and think of them first. And you can go to HemiRace.com to see the full list. But I'm going to read it out, and it's going to seem a little long to you. And I'm trying to show you just how many sponsors it takes to make these things happen. So once again, the 2024 Modern Street Hemi Shootout presenting sponsor, Sipple Speed and Performance. Johnny Sipple, Jessica, they're here. Thank you guys so much. We could not, and this is a quick, funny story. John called me up about something just totally different, and by the end of the conversation, he was presenting sponsor. Like, he literally asked me, and you know, I was very humbled by the question, and it's a financial investment in us, so we can't thank you enough, man. We really can't. It's a big deal. It's a lot of money. He's given me his hard-earned money to run this series, to help you guys pay a purse. Like, it's all like, you know, a trickle down, but it's coming out of his pocket. But when you guys buy a transmission from him, it's full circle, right? So that's how we have to do this to support them. So thanks again, John. Really appreciate it. Title sponsors of the series: Josh on shorts and high horse performance. Josh, thank you guys. Thanks Bruce, floating around your entire team. Bruce was the Modern Street Hemi Shootout before there was a Modern Street Hemi Shootout. He had his own point series at Englishtown Raceway, and I met Josh early on, and that's kind of turned into what we have here. So without Josh, who knows? We would probably not have been doing this series. So thank you guys. And he comes to all the events. Not only does he sponsor this one, but he sponsors the NMCA, and so does John Sipple. Like, they're supporting not only this series, but all Gen 3 heavy racing. So it's really a big deal. Other title sponsor, co-title sponsors, the Drive Shaft Shop. They're not here. Lee, huge supporter of us. He told me to tell you guys that he's doing the best he can, and he's going to come through a lot better in 2024. They had a really tough 2023 with keeping up with demand. He is aware of it, and it's hard to say and be honest, but he knows that he's going to do the best, and he's a huge supporter of us, so I have his back. I am fully aware how difficult it is to get his product sometimes, but it's not from him not ignoring us. He just has a big market, a lot of markets, but he's locked in with us again as a co-title sponsor. So I can't thank him enough. You know, his support of us, and Frank before him, you know, and Frank Jr. just big deal. So thank you, Drive Shaft Shop. Event sponsors: Chris Harrigan, Leg Maker Intakes. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you. Once again, been around since day one. You know, Chris and Leg Maker's been around for a long time, and I said it's funny to say, but over a decade of support. You know, just really can't thank you enough. And you do more than us. You know, you sponsor a lot of different things around the country and the world. So thank you guys. Thanks for coming out, and thanks for having us in Orlando. And thanks for sponsoring the party. Yeah. We should have done it on Friday night. That was a fail.
Yeah, no, we have ideas for next year that are way better trackside.
Just let me know how it goes. As long as it doesn't require me to think, I'm good.
I got it.
All right, thank you guys so much. I'm gonna go through now. I'm gonna run through these relatively quick, but those are the ones that are kind of represented at the top, and then obviously this event. Additional title sponsors at Rockingham: John Sipple, sponsoring that event as well. Cecil County is sponsored by High Horse Performance. Detroit and Hemi and Sandy is sponsored by T-Tech. And Maryland International Raceway is sponsored by East Coast Moparts, my man Andy right here. Could not do anything without him. I would not do this without him. That's being about as honest as possible. He is as much of this series as I am. Really important. Class sponsors: bracket class sponsored by East Coast Moparts. 850 class sponsored by Demon Performance. Hemi Outlaw sponsored by Hemi Tuner Performance and Revolution Paradox. 9.0 class sponsored by Flyin' Ryan Performance. 10.0 class sponsored by my man AAD Performance. Parker. I always give Parker like a moment because I just love this man. How can you not love this guy?
What am I supposed to do?
Just sit there and look pretty. 1050 class, my man Jimmy, back True Street Performance. Where's Jimmy? Jimmy here. I went out with him last night, so it might be a while. Yeah, it might be a while. He's just a young one. 1150 sponsored by Leg Maker Intakes. So as you guys have seen a theme here, right? This is like a big investment by these guys. 1250 class sponsored by Hemi Tuner Performance and Revolution Paradox. Rookie class sponsored by TC2 Motorsports. That's Grumpy Cat, for those of you that don't know. Grumpy Cat not only races, but he also sponsors. Just like Andy, races and sponsors. A lot of these guys participate, and they keep this stuff alive by not only selling your products, but they're keeping it alive by participating and getting their customers to participate. So really a big deal. Stick shift, brand new class this year, stick shift. There's been a lot of requests for it throughout the years, and it was difficult for me to be convinced to do it because I know there's just not a lot of stick shifts. But I got this strange phone call from a guy from the West Coast that was full of freaking energy, wound up like a top, and he talked me into it, and that's Toddy Gomez from Bad Boys Garage right here. Woo! He flew all the way in from California on the red eye, hit the ground running. Thank you, Toddy. Appreciate you. Thank you. No, you're welcome. And he'll be here. Check out his stuff. I mean, it's world class. And we know, and he knows, and we didn't blow any fluff, that we know this is going to be a small start, but he's got big dreams and big visions, and I'm on board. So we'll do the best I can to get the stick shift guys the support they need. There you go. Good job. Thank you. Drag Pack Spec Shootout. That also is a new class, and it's also going to be very a small field because it's going to be a spec motor built by Blackbird Performance, who is Jeff Turk. So Jeff Turk is going to build a motor, or already has built a motor, and Mark Heidings is around here somewhere. Mark, this was Mark's idea, and he got Jeff on board. Thank you, Mark. And I'll speak to it, and you let me know if I made a mistake.
Yeah, and any questions?
So basically the concept behind the class is folks bought drag packs and they wanted to go out and compete in the NMCA and the NHRA, and they realized that it is an enormous expense, and it's very difficult to get these motors to stay together and everything to stay together. So Mark's thought was, let's build a crate motor that will run in the 7s and live and race it just in our series, and it probably will grow from here. And that way those folks can save their other power plants and motors for the NMCA and HRA that they want to be on, because they have a limited life, like 25 passes they have to be refreshed, right? So anyway, so it's a great idea. Thanks to Jeff Turk, thanks to Mark for bringing it on. And they're not gonna, there's no participants on this event, but at Rockingham we will. And it's a spec motor, so you can't just show up with a drag pack, like it's a program, right? So we understand that it's gonna be a little bit of a process, but it makes total sense. So thank you for doing that. I accidentally turned my screen on. Heavyweight class. So heavyweight class, I love heavyweight. I like heads-up racing in general, but heavyweight class has always been a difficult class to get car counts. Just because it's people, they see a 750 car competing in a class and they run 820s, they're not going to compete, right? So we decided to take it out of our rotation for points, but we're running heavyweight class at this event. And if it turns out that I'm wrong and the participation comes back, I'll be glad to bring it back and put it at every event. I'm not against it. It's all about just making sense for the sponsor. I hate asking sponsors to give me money for a class with 2 cars in it. You know, it's very difficult to get them return on investment, and it doesn't look good for them. So for this particular event, my man Scott, where's Scott Bogler at? Scott, AMP, American Muscle Performance. Scott's around here somewhere. Is he working on somebody's car, breaking somebody's car? So Scott sponsored that class for this event. Thank you, Scott. Another OG, been around for over a decade. King of Kings, sponsored by Innovative Machining Solutions. King of the Hill, sponsored by Cometic Gasket. Best Reaction Time, Stage 6 Motorsports. Where's Dwight? Is he here yet? I know Dwight's coming today. Dwight reached out to me, and he's been part of it since the beginning. Great guy. And whereas Twin Win is sponsored by Stel Sav. He's my points guy. He typically skips this event, but he does the rest of them. And I called him and said, "Are you going to Orlando?" He goes, "Well, only if you ask me." So I felt a little guilty, so I didn't ask him. So we're going to pick up the slack for Stel at this event. But he sponsors a prize. If you win 2 classes today, you get a bonus prize. So that's my man Stel. Now we have a long list of sponsors. ZH Tunes, my man Z. Cometic, Hall Mile 1 Auto Group, Innovative Machining Solutions, Callie's Performance Products, R2 Motorsports, Starck's Performance and Maintenance, Cam Motion Camshafts, Gearhead Fabrications, Red Eye Race Cars. Those guys committed a significant amount of money for us for the entire year. Those are my full-level sponsors, and you recognize those names. Those guys are like the real deal. They're big in our industry, and they're giving back. You know, you're paying big dough to get tuned and get built, but they're not just ignoring the fact that racing is a big part of it, and they're giving back. So make sure you think of them. Associate sponsors, a lot of new names here. Nietzsche Automotive, Hot Shot Secrets is back. Professional Auto Collision, big Detroit sponsor. Galago's Vinyl Engraving, all of our stickers is done by Lisa. Karma Racing Products, where's my man Brian Brunt? Where's Brian? Don't be shy, Brian. Brian's another OG guy. He's a big help in the series, especially in Detroit. Thank you so much. 1320 Solutions, my man Chris. Where's he at? He's the one that keeps this thing running most of the time. Thank you, Chris, for your support. Really appreciate it. Contingency sponsors, we got QuickTime Performance and Performance Development. If you're running QuickTime or Performance Development race, make sure you get the decals. If you win, you get paid extra. Yeah. And then ProCharger's on board. I haven't locked in what they're paying out, so I can get back to you on that if you win a class with a ProCharger today. But they are a contingency sponsor. And that is a long-ass list of sponsors.
Round 1.
Draggy says 10.2, car says 10.3. Let's go grab the time slip. Maybe should have got in the 10.5 class and just slowed down, but who wants to slow down? We should get a pretty good break now because we were one of the first brackets. So I got to go through everybody in bracket. Then I got to go heavyweights, outlaws, 850, 90, and then us at the 10.0 again. So we got a pretty good break. Should be able to cool down fairly well. And hopefully we get back down to that 10.1. But let's see what this time slip says. We may still be in the 10.1s. Alrighty, thank you. Again, we're 965. Woo! 150 60 foot. That's our best 60 foot so far today. Almost a 1.4. 6.6 to the 8th at 109. 10.2 at 136 and a half. So not a bad run for shake and bake, man. That's pretty good. This heat, it's hot, folks. It's hot. And I'm sure because I'm not running ice, and I know you guys are gonna gig me in the comments for not running ice, but I still got antifreeze in the tank, so I can't run ice. But hey, still a good run. We're gonna go cool down and come back for another round.
Round 2.
No draggy this time, folks. Sorry. It's saying we got low satellites. Uh-oh. A little bit of trouble here. Let's see what's going on. All right, so y'all see me. Y'all saw me at the end of the track. I don't think I left limping in all the way back to where I was parked. But we got to the end of the track. Car was totally unresponsive. Alright, obviously this is a few days later, but I wanted to explain what happened because I want to make sure you guys know these little things happen at the track all the time. There's always something going on. So that second run, it was actually my fourth run of the day, my second run for bracket. We got to the end of the track and the car just became unresponsive. It didn't stall, didn't quit or anything like that. It just was not responsive to the gas pedal. I should have known what it was right off the bat. That's a pretty should have been an easy one to troubleshoot. But anyway, so I got to the end of the track, got off the track, got off to the side, Did the typical things. Turned the car off, let it sit for a minute, started the car back up, still unresponsive. Went in, cleared all the codes through the through the taser and through HP tuners, cleared everything out, still unresponsive. I didn't go up under the hood while I was there. I probably should have, but I didn't. So I took it all the way back to where I was parked. It limped at about 7-8 miles an hour. Grabbed my time slip, went back to my parking spot, back to the pits, and that's when I opened up the hood, tried to troubleshoot. First thing I did is pop some fuses, went around, I know it sounds silly, went around, cleared all the codes again. There really wasn't any, but I just, to make sure, cleared them again. Car did the same thing. I come back around, I come back around, put the fuses and stuff back in, and I look over, and somehow the throttle body connector came backed out about that far, but it was still looked like it was connected, but I could tell it was backed out a little bit. So I go over, and lo and behold, I push it and click, it clicks back in. Now, how that pops out, because it's clicked in, because it was clicked in before. I didn't have any problems up until now. So, not sure what happened there. I really don't know what happened. But clicked it back in, took it for a drive, run it through first through third, fourth gear there on a side road at the track, pulled back in, and I was like, all right, we'll just wait, we'll go ahead, we're probably only getting a couple more runs anyway, we'll finish up racing and then call it a day. In about 15 minutes I was like, okay, it's time to take all these little things for what they are. The thermostat yesterday, the day before, Friday at the track rental, that happened after 2 runs. This happens after 4 runs. Personally, things happening. I don't think I came down with another case of gout, but my foot started hurting, and then right after that, my knee started hurting and swelled up to like a softball. So finally, I took all of those signs and said, all right, it's time to call it quits. Go back to RT's Lifehouse, because it was already 4 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock, somewhere around there, because I already had to go back, change the tires, pack everything up, wash my clothes, and get ready to go meet my wife in Lecanto on Sunday morning. So it was just a multitude of things that said, all right, time to call it quits, and let's just call it quits. We got 4 runs in, which is great, and then we'll get competitive next time, as long as nothing goes wrong. As long as nothing goes wrong. So there you go, folks. Things happen, and I'm trying to now document all of these little things that happen that normally I don't do, because usually when something happens, I get freaking laser focused on trying to fix what the problem is, not grabbing a video camera and videotaping everything I'm trying to do. But I will try and do that in the future. If not, we'll do the same thing. We'll come back after the fact, explain what we did, explain what happened, explain the fix, and we'll move on. But hope y'all like these videos. Hope y'all like the sponsors. I didn't do the whole drivers meeting because that was between the sponsors and the drivers meeting. That was 24-25 minutes. I didn't want it to go necessarily that long, though we are going that long now. But this is more important because you guys need to know, hey, things happen all the time. Not just big things, little things. All right, that's going to do it for this one, folks. If you're stopping in for the first time, please check out the rest of the channel. If you like what's going on with the channel, do me them few things. Like, subscribe, smash the bell, shoot me a comment, share it on your social media. I'll definitely appreciate it. Shake and Bake will definitely appreciate it, because every red penny from YouTube goes right back into Shake and Bake. That's it for this one, folks. Till next time, the 10-0 Index. Adios.